mask, a lonely keeper's crusade. Can you tell me I'm not insane? Sometimes I get this feeling about the law I'm dealing, that my land and my reason wane. Have I been forsaken on this path I've taken? Check my head, I guess the joke's on me. Whoa, I'm not laughing at the irony. Oh no. So riddle me this now and riddle me that. Does anyone really know the mind of the bat? So riddle me this now and riddle me that. Does anyone really know the mind of the bat? Wherever you're going, whatever you do, I'm out in the dark, keeping watch over you. So poison the ivy with your crocodile tears. We're climbing the vines to the heart of your fears. Can you tell me, has something changed? The rewards are zero, cause I ain't no hero. Do you know it when you go strange? Is your taunting true? Am I as crazy as you? Check my head, I guess the joke's on me. Whoa, I'm not laughing at the irony. Oh no. Look to the sky at night. I scan the highest heights. Look to the sky at night. I scan the highest heights. So riddle me this now and riddle me that. Does anyone really know the mind of the bat? So riddle me this now and riddle me that. Does anyone really know the mind of the bat? Check my head, I guess the joke's on me. Oh, I'm not laughing at the irony. Oh no. Check my head, the sky at night. I scan the highest heights. Look to the sky at night. I scan the highest heights. So riddle me this now and riddle me that. Does anyone really know the mind of the bat? So riddle me this now and riddle me that. Does anyone really know the mind of the bat?
Hello everyone and welcome back to Bachicolo Streams. As usual, I'm Bachelio. How are you all doing? Everything new? Anything of old? Anything at all? How's it going? As you can probably see if you joined me previously, there have been a little bit of changes. Little bits and pieces here and there. Hey there, Have No Mouth. How you doing? Do I? Nice. So the effect is complete. Last night, during another streak of full moon insomnia, I decided to fiddle around. Yeah, I'm on my fourth coffee for today as well, so I feel you. As long as you don't hear colors, it's fine, or see noises. So yeah, last night at about 2 a.m., being completely incapable of falling asleep, I decided to play around with the setup. And I completely dismantled the lamp that I'm using. And essentially just turned it into a arm for the camera. And the light that was previously just to light my face is now used to light the desk. It's the lamp arm, and that's just the camera. The mic is on the camera. It's pretty much the same thing, just without. Let me show you. I just took this off of the lamp. So that would probably mean that it sounds better, so that's also good. Or at least not worse. But yeah, no, that's just the cam. But technically it is the mic, so... Yeah. So yeah, technically it does work like that, so... I don't know. Also, I played around with the settings, so I think I should be getting some better color. But I can't guarantee on that. Having a bit less glare. Although the glare is now on my face, which is... Anyway, it's a work in progress. Let's just leave it at that. And now that I switched the face cam, I'm not gonna blow smoke in the yeah. Let's see if we can do anything on screen. Nice. Yeah, let's see if we can improve things. They're saying grayish. So maybe if we kick up the saturation. Any better? Because from where I see it, it looks a bit yellowish. So it does have sort of a piss filter on it, and so does my hand. But I don't know. Yeah, no, that's the saturation. Let's kill the contrast, see what happens. Yeah, that's from the light. I need to get a better light. But this needs to happen when things stop being like that. Right, let's see now. Contrast go down. Goes down. Nah, it completely fucks up if that's what I do. Yeah, it's gonna be something like that. Well, I do want to get as good a color as possible, but right now I'm fighting so many things. I'm fighting the light. I'm fighting my poorly color calibrated monitors. I'm fighting the camera. So too many moving factors for me to just zero in on what's exactly the issue. But it did clean up a little bit overall, so I'm pretty glad about that. Been doing some more work on the Norse team. So I did some more flesh. I highlighted the flesh tones. Where's the focus? There's the focus. Oh, he's coming up rather well. And so on and so forth. I also dug out some other brushes that I haven't been using. And these are some synthetic brushes that are pretty good. I had to cut That's nice. Did you do anything with it? As in, was it just to give out, sell, or? Yeah, that's a good name. For sure. Okay, so what are we gonna do with this dude today? I was thinking of then very much in line with the name, I guess. Nice. So I think it's gonna be red. We'll be dealing with the red today. Yeah, sounds like that. So the problem with this is that I have no idea where the highlights will hit on the chest plate, and it's going to be a fairly call it central piece. I've been thinking about it. Well, let's start highlighting and see where it goes. because it's a weird bevel, and it has sort of a rise in the middle as well. I'm not really sure where the highlights need to be. Why is there so much dust on him? This is just water to brush off the dust. Very dusty here. Well, it still seems to illuminate from the top. The highlights should be around this vicinity. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, but I'm still trying to be consistent. Although here with the pants I totally screwed up the highlights anyway, so... Anyway, let's get it on. So why did you get so hopped up on caffeine? Are you having trouble sleeping, or do you need to be awake for some reason? What's the deal? Okay, so that's... I guess that's a valid reason. Ah, it's good enough. It's good enough. Oh. Let's see here. Yeah, well, you know. So this can go a bit thicker on. Not much of a problem. It'll dry quite a bit darker. This is a weird color. You just have to build it up. What about the tick? Maybe, yeah, a little bit too thick. Yeah, but as you can see, it dries off pretty well. I'll be building it up quite a bit, so it's not that much of an issue. Oh, so I'm using a small brush, but it'll be fine. We'll make it work. Sorry. So all of this should be highlighted. Yeah, I suppose that's because he actually stated that the tournament is postponed instead of cancelled. So technically it should happen just a little bit later down the line, when we have some more certainty on the matter. Which is probably why people didn't respond. Neither did I, but that for me that was the reason. And also, as you mentioned, Thumbo isn't the best platform in terms of experience. I suppose that would be probably why. This is going to take several coats, but that's fine. Yeah, no. For creating the tournament rules, yeah, I'm speaking about the overall player experience. So it's a bit janky to play, but I don't know really. I mean, again, these are my personal gripes with it. I don't know why the rest did not go for it. Because if the others say that they want to do it, I'll do it for sure. No reason not to. And now you can see my head when I play around with the wet palette. Great. But yeah, in terms of administrative capabilities and implementing rules, Thumbo is miles ahead from BB2. At the very least, it is getting updated, whereas Blood Bowl 2 isn't at all. It's a bit too thinned out, I think. But it's... stop leaning forward into the palette so much. Something like that. So I got some ideas for the orc team that I'll be building. I found a interesting substitute for the troll from War Machines Warjack, because I have some lying around here. Yeah, the ones that I'm trying to figure out how to convert with the cyborg bits. Well, it's gonna be GW Blood Bowl Orcs and 40k Orcs Kit Bash. There will be some bits from Cromlech and yeah, so GW and Cromlech. And what I would have to figure out is the troll. How to make him adequate to the theme. And I found this old Protector of Manoth Warjack that kinda looks orky already. So I'll just put some stuff on him. The Morky bits. Make him look more the part. But then I found Puppets of War have some really nice stuff that I can make black orcs out of. But I won't do that, I think I have enough bits. Putting them together, that'll be the real thing. I don't really want to buy every single bit for a team. I want to use what I have available, which isn't all that little. They will be somewhat fun. No idea when I would be able to start them, but that is a different topic. Can't even see what I'm doing. But this is a project that's been sitting and waiting for about, I don't know, 2 years now. I think it's about time that I just bite the bullet and jump right onto that. Could be fun, it could work out. They will be weird as hell, but yeah, we'll see. This is gonna take some getting used to. Not shoving my head in the palette. Wait, what? Is that what's playing? No. Oh, you mean for the project? I think that you won't like that, because you've said before that you don't like this general putting sci-fi into Blood Bowl. So I don't really think that it'll be your cup of tea. But we'll see, maybe you'll change your mind. And if not, still I think that I'll still try to do it anyway. Oh, okay. Yeah, the models have been waiting for a while. And I still don't have a goblin for them. I have no idea what to use as a goblin. And I may put in like bazookas on the throwers. You know, just make it really weird and possibly fun. Zorks tend to lend themselves to that. Some rocket launchers from a Devastator squad. Might work. Might also not. It's about time I did a conversion project. Or a kit bash of some sort. Because the last 3 teams that I've built are all vanilla. I want to add a little bit of myself, a little bit of flair. Also, I was looking through the dwarves, the Atlas dwarves team that I waited. Yeah, well, that's not a reason to stop. Oh, so this will be completely different. This time shall be different. Regarding... there won't be any loadout options or anything like that. I just have to make them stick. Which pretty much gives me the carte blanche to chop off and file off as much as I want indiscriminately. And then sculpt around the damage. My less than accurate chopping may have caused. Either way, I think I will be having a lot of fun with this once I eventually get to it. Considering that there are Bretonians to paint. And like I was saying, I did look through the dwarves, for the Atlas ones. The steampunk dwarves that are kinda Iron Man type stuff. And I think that comic style would look very good on them. So I will have to do them, well, I'll have to. I think I want to give my honest try into comic style painting. So I will be ordering some black ink for the black lining. And we'll see where we get from there. There are quite a few tutorials on this thing, and also comic style needs to be made with non-metallic metals, and I've never tried non-metallics, so this will be a 2-in-1 experiment, which could be fun. I just want to figure out the colors. Although I think I will go with something along the lines of the Iron Man color scheme, so yellows and reds mostly. Or any metal plates that they have. So there is definitely stuff to do and to try out. I'm pretty excited. I don't know how long all this excitement will keep up with me, but for as long as it's here, why not take advantage of it? Once I go back to regular, when the isolation is done, and the time I'll have to do this will drastically diminish. Or at least dream about it. Yeah, now, see, even if even if things get slowed down considerably, I still did get some new ideas about it. So I have a flushed out color scheme for the dwarves, which was something I didn't previously have. I decided on a style for them. I also looked through the bits and bobs for the orcs, so I'm more prepared with them when the time comes about to start them and so on. So there is a plus to all of this. There are definitely upsides. I have no idea about the color scheme for the orcs, but by the time I'm done with their conversions, I think that it should make up for it. So we'll see. Did you check out the what was it? This is not a test. The rules for a skirmish post-apocalyptic game that Sutsu Sutherland suggested last time. There are some videos on the Gorilla Miniatures, Gorilla Gaming channel in YouTube, where they play out a couple scenarios. It looks fun. It is pretty much, it's very Necromunda-like, with some random placement of dangerous terrain. So in the first scenario they got some irradiated spots that they had to put all over the playing field, and it worked sort of like 7th edition artillery. So you place it and you roll a scatter dice to see where it would go. So there is a little bit of tactics into that. Unit activations are a little bit weird, a bit more random, but yeah, it's interesting. It's definitely something that we can try once we get a hold of Necromunda a little bit more. Although Necromunda actually looks to be quite a bit more straightforward than I thought. It doesn't have all the craziness of the past 40k editions, where you need to read 4 chapters just to get an idea about how to move. That was the biggest nightmare. I just wanted to see how a dreadnought... They don't have miniatures. These are random proxies. So that's another thing about this game, that it's just a rule set. You can make whatever miniatures you want for them, as long as, you know, you can make them fit the style or not at all. Or you can use existing ones that you have lying around. Yeah, they don't have a range of miniatures. It's just one dude that sat down and wrote up a rule set for a skirmish game. But again, this is for somewhere in the future where we are more comfortable with the things that we still need to try out. I did, however, start batch painting a little bit off screen. So I've been preparing some more Goliaths for painting, so I've been laying down the colors that I'm certain that they will be using. So the armor plates I've batch painted for base colors. So that should be okay once we get... So once this guy is done, the others should become a little bit quicker to do. Because I'm still figuring out the general approach to have to these guys. Like which parts to keep muted colors, which parts to highlight, and so on and so forth. Yeah, that's why I got them up, so they can see what's waiting for them. This is too much water. In anticipation. Yeah, that's an awesome movie, by the way. I don't know if we've talked about it either on or off screen, but I love this movie with all my heart. This musical. There was supposed to be a new one, I think 2018 or 2019, but without Tim Curry, which is pretty much redundant. Why would you want to make another Rocky Horror Show without Tim Curry. Like, he is the star. Oh, there are? But like, plays or movies? Because I know of one movie that should have been made, but I've seen nothing about it beyond the IMDb article stating that it will be released at some point. So I have no real idea about it. I've gone completely out of frame. Great. Otherwise, I do know that it's still being played out in theaters. I think on Broadway they're still having plays of it. Because I think it is originally a play that was just adapted for the screen. But even if not, I mean, it's a complete story, it doesn't need anything else. Just a one-off, weird and goofy thing. So it just works very well. ...2016, yeah, 2016. Is it released or was it cancelled? I believe I haven't checked since. Yeah, absolutely, it was a good thing, and it didn't need any more. Just like RoboCop. It was the perfect cyberpunk movie, the perfect corporate satire. There was no need to make sequels of it. Any point. And yet they did. Including the travesty that was the reboot or remake that they did with Michael Keaton. It was just horrible. Yeah, I'll probably check it out if I can find it. Yeah, so I'm just building up highlights as I go. No, okay. The main thing was that it needed the shock and awe, and what they did was enough for the 70s, but nowadays a bit more effort needs to be put in. Well, not really, considering RuPaul and the influence that he has had over the years, over recent years. It does make sense to use the opportunity to launch one of his girls from the show. From the reality. Why do people keep writing me at these moments? Oh yeah, it had 2 movie sequels, and then there was a mini series which was 4 full-length movie episodes where they made a second RoboCop. And then there is also a TV show of a motion picture, and then there are, I think, 2 animated series, 1 or 2 animated series. But again, this is why I said that that is another franchise that should have just been left alone, because it got watered down. Oh, really? Yeah, it did look cool, didn't it? Although it was geared to a very young audience, and so most of the actual gratuitous violence that the first one was so known about could not have been implemented, and it was a little bit weird. But it had its moments, I have to agree. It was fun. And taken out of context, the other movies aren't horrible as well, excluding the last one that was released, I don't know, 2015 or 2014. There was a reboot, the one I mentioned with Michael Keaton, which was just bad on every single possible level. Because the other ones, especially the second one, it had its charm, it had its place. Although it shouldn't have been a sequel to it, it should have been its own thing, I think. Here I am painting something that no one will ever look to see. No matter how you spin this guy, unless you actually look under the gun, you wouldn't ever see anything, but here I am painting there as well. Yeah, I do like how the color is coming out and how the shading works. And in terms of, it's exactly what I intended to happen, which doesn't happen too often with me. So now it's just a matter of putting 1 billion coats of paint in order to cover up well. Layering, to make layering work and keep that nice darkness around the gun. He is starting to get some dimension. I don't know if you can see. Yeah, this here you can see how the color gradually fades into darkness. I am okay with that. Because you remember the point of the whole thing was the armor plates and the hair would be saturated. And so I wanted to make it so I wouldn't need to put a wash. Wouldn't need to wash the whole thing after I'm done with it. Which I would have done with almost anything else. So it will keep its vibrancy. Once I'm done. And I will ruin it in another way by applying chips and scratches to it. Nice, thank you. So, I am optimistic. And I just hope I won't ruin it and make the battle damage look fake. Which is always an option. Okay, let's move on to other pieces. It's not a bad setup, and I can finally rest my elbows and have a straight back to it. Because otherwise I always had to lean forward, and that created back pains for me. So overall I am pretty happy with the new setup. But now it's harder for me to take photos of the minis, because that's an entirely different thing on its own that I will have to learn. You probably noticed that the last 4 times I posted pictures, they looked completely different from one another. They were all bad, but in different ways. I'm just essentially playing around with the camera and its settings, trying to figure out what the hell am I supposed to do with it. I'll get it right sooner or later. If I was photographing some masterpieces, I would be more concerned, but considering the overall quality of what I'm taking a picture of, I don't really care. I can freely use them as tests without being angry about it or frustrated. But I do gotta say that starting off from a much darker and desaturated color does give the red a very interesting transition that I love. I love how this is turning out. Because this is just the first highlight, so I will put on at least one more color over that. And in the end it'll have a ton of contrast, which is nice. And then again, I will ruin everything by putting battle damage. So I will have to make sure to take photos before that happens. I'm just glazing and saturating and ensuring that there is enough coverage for the paint where I want it and keep the darkness what I need it. And it basically just takes a shitload of time. Okay, I think that's good right there. See this side. What's going on here? Pretty much the same. It's a very interesting red, because it goes down so vibrantly, and then when it dries, it darkens so much that can't really gauge how much you're putting on. And you just gotta sort of learn what the color will do as you go. Looks a bit weird like that. But there's nothing wrong with it. Just a little bits of golden. Golden on the tips. Like metallic gold? No, what about it? I just did, sorry. Like metallic gold on the top? Really? Maybe. I don't know what effect are you going for? Like spray on hair metallics? 'Cause I remember that there were sprays back in 3rd grade, I think it was. There were these silver sprays from rattle cans that you could use to color your hair. Yeah, the grenades need some more work for sure, and the pants as well, but I want to see how the other... A lighter yellow. Well, technically it is just yellow, but maybe just the tips. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, maybe. Just the tips. Yeah, that's okay. Can do that. It'll work. It will work. And the grenades, yeah, you're right. I might put... whenever I start working on the gun, since I will be sort of dry brushing metallics, I might put some on the grenades, like little chips, little metallic chips. Just a bitsy tiny bit of go. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I can go further in the highlight for sure. Yeah, this is coming out good. The effect is working out for me. How are you keeping busy these days? Do you still go to work? Do you spend most of your time at home? How does it work now? Rearranging your new living quarters. Oh, okay, so you do. That's nice. Oh yeah, how is Pillars going? Does it still feel the same way as in when you last said that it felt better, a little bit easier? Does it still feel that way? Did you find out why? Oh yeah, even though I've always been working out at home, right now with the insomnia and everything, I just can't bring myself to work out at all. And the results are coming. Yeah, they do wear you out. I don't know if Europa is the best palette cleanser for that. Because it's a pretty text-intensive game as well. That can wear you out a little bit. Maybe some movies or some series to binge watch if you're in the mood. I don't know. I've been keeping busy mostly with Twitch streams. Which also doesn't help my insomnia. I do think soon it'll pass me by because it's oh, okay, that's nice. For me, that was pretty much not the reading itself, but the fact that it kind of slowed down the rhythm of the game a bit too much. Not for Pillars, but just in this style of game in general. It feels like too much of a screeching halt to what you were doing. And that change eventually just wore me down. Okay, that's... Yeah, and that's another thing about these games. Whenever you get into a settlement and you start going around and actually talking to every single piece. Right, yeah, exactly. Having to talk to every single one, going into every single house regardless or not that you have any work to do there. And when you eventually, so for the first couple of settlements it's usually fine. And then you hit this huge metropolitan city. Oh, okay, so they're color coded. That's cool. And that is the part that has always been a bit too much for me. Which is why I decided to try out this whole role-playing game thing. Because it saves me a lot of time. As you can see, this isn't the most riveting part of painting, where you just repeat the same places over and over until you get enough coverage. But in my case, that situation is intentional. Yeah, let me see. Let's take a look. Ooh, nice. That's very Fifth Element themed, with the white tank top and the orange hair. Right. Let's show the class. Oh, you mean that for the Goliath? Yeah. Whoops. Yeah. Technically, this is where he is going. But yeah, you're right. He can use a touch more on the top. A touch more of just this, let's say. Very bright yellow. Actually, why not? Why just not do it right now? Because now that it's juxtaposed to the armor, you see how it's not so much of an eye catcher. So bringing it a little bit more might help to be the centerpiece. Yeah, good catch. Good catch. Thank you. But this is definitely Fifth Element inspired. I like this picture a lot. I really love this type of hairstyle anyway, especially for women. I really like short hairstyles. Yeah, you can see pretty well on a larger screen. Let's change the music a little bit, shall we? This has gone a little bit boring for me. Why is it playing such downer songs? Maybe something more upbeat. There we go. Betterer. Oh yeah, definitely. For sure. Yeah. Yeah. I should rewatch that movie. This is probably the third time this week I've encountered a reference for it, and I think this is more than just a coincidence. I think that something is winking at me to give it another shot. So I haven't seen that movie in a long time. Yeah, those twin little flamers. The single-handed ones. One in each hand. I can definitely see that happening. Okay. Inferno pistol is what I'm thinking, yeah. Well, doesn't he look like Inquisition to you? Was it the Radicals that employed Xenotech to fight demons? Hey there, Clawpalmer. What up? Thanks for coming along. How do you like the new setup? Pretty much the same setup, but with a twist. So this is combining the worst of the 80s with the worst of the 90s. I'm essentially giving him frosted tips. And I'm fine with that. Yeah, I agree. I agree. Good call. Definitely a good call. To enforce the highlight. Yeah, pretty snazzy. Nice. Nice. Should I? So what up, Club Owner? What you doing? What are you up to? Are you painting along? Yeah, about that. You know, this is about as high as it'll go for the hair. And the armor will have it about, I think, one shade lighter for the red, and then just one shade lighter further still for edge highlighting wherever I can find them, and that'll be it. I won't go super high. and that'll also make the chip damage appear better. So, yeah. Okay, back to this leg. Trying to build it up. Yes and no. So the way I've seen it done, I will draw it with black and then highlight it with the brightest color that I've shaded, maybe that I've highlighted with, maybe even a little bit brighter, maybe even white with a little bit of red. But yeah, definitely. So the idea being that I will draw the crack itself with pure black, and then underneath the crack, I highlight it with a very, very bright version of the main color. Again, I've never done this before, so I have no idea if I'll be able to pull it off. But I will sure as hell try. And for larger chips, I can put in a little bit of a metallic to simulate the metal underneath the paint job.
Ecstasy is a street name for the drug methylene deoxymethamphetamine, MDMA, an amphetamine-based synthetic drug with euphoric effect. Stimulant drugs speed up the messages between the brain and the body and can make a person feel more awake, alert, confident, or energetic. Tick, tick, tick,
Interesting
tick,
sound.
tick, 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 or energetic. Ecstasy.
Pretty nice though, I like it. And this is why you don't place the model on the base before painting it. Now I am painting blind. Get yourself another Red Bull. Just do it.
Ecstasy is a street name for the drug methylene deoxymethamphetamine, MDMA, an amphetamine-based synthetic drug with euphoric effect. Stimulant drugs speed up the messages between the brain and the body and can make a person feel more awake, alert, confident, or energetic. Tick, 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 or energetic. Tick, 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 ecstasy.
Oh, sorry if I made it weird. So how's it going? What are you up to these days? Oh, nice, nice, okay. Oh, that's great. So we can have a paint along. What will you be painting? Ooh, nice. In OCC? OCC, okay. Did you give CCL a chance? Or did you not find the time? Yeah, okay. I really like how this turned out. This is awesome. Ah, cool, some Nurgle. I don't think I've seen any whip of your Nurgles. Unless I'm mistaken, but I think you're hiding them from us. Oh, okay. Makes sense. How do you like the new setup for the stream? I've made some changes. Here and there. Thanks, nice, good. This is good because I actually cannot revert to the old one anymore. Because I had to dismantle the lamp that I was using, and to dismantle it I had to cut off the cable. So technically there's no way to put it back together unless I solder the cables, and I don't have a soldering tool here. So that's good. A justified risk, I guess. Yep. This reminds me of a song by Cold Chamber. I don't know if you've ever listened to Cold Chamber. But there is a song. May the bridges you burn light your way. Into oblivion. It's a beautiful lyric. May the bridges you burn light your way. Get myself nice and caffeinated. Oh yeah, you did. You did. With dark reds and oranges. Kind of reminds me of this, but darker red. Hey, Captain Madlove. Thank you for joining. What brings you to our small but friendly community? They do? I haven't listened to them. What are you collecting? Necromunda dudes or something else? Mini painters. Alright. Yeah, I'm pretty much the same right now. I have a bit more time to watch some streams, and my following list has expanded tremendously. Like I think I've followed more than 30 channels right now. Oh, it's in the video. I never noticed it. But I never noticed that, believe it or not. Although I mostly listen to them, I haven't seen too many of their videos. Or I've watched lyrics videos or something like that. Oh, thanks very much! Much appreciated, dude. I don't think we've ever been hosted before, that's nice. Pretty cool. Do you stream yourself, Captain Madlove? I stream twice a week, on Mondays and Wednesdays. On Mondays I play a video game. Right now I'm going through Fallout. And on Wednesdays I paint. So not too much, and I don't really have the staying power to keep it up for too long. I usually keep them around the 3-hour mark. Yep. Wait, today's Wednesday, right? Yeah. If you're looking at the channel, there is a link to the Instagram and Facebook. Also, if you yourself are painting or you have any sort of content that you would like to share, please do. Let us know. Actually, I just put the link to Instagram today because I noticed that I hadn't done that. Thanks, dude, but still, if there's anything you want to share, we are more than happy to say. Toss around some pictures of works in progress, talk about movies, music. Oh, there are tons, like seriously. I've been looking through, like I said, due to the situations all over. Yeah, okay, yeah, that would explain things. Yeah, thanks again very much for making an appearance and saying hi, and I hope that you do enjoy what you see. Although I don't usually get too much done in any one sitting, it's still something. I'm currently working on this dude from Necromunda, and off stream I am painting a Blood Bowl team of Norse. Yeah, absolutely. Everyone is trying to get, and not just mini painters. I think streaming as a whole has increased tremendously. Yeah, definitely. And as a result, I've heard quite a few mentions that these C922 cameras have spiked in price tremendously. Yeah, I think that Twitch had a few issues with overload the first couple of days. But yeah, these cameras are now extremely expensive just because apparently there is a hell of a lot of search for them. I think that's about as high as this can go with this color, so let me prepare the next layer. Thanks, man. Thanks again. Truly. Much appreciated. Did he? How do I do that? Or fighty. Well, that does make sense. Although this only applies to the more renowned, so the streamers with more views. This is because for streamers like me who don't have. Oh, okay, okay. Didn't know that. You can tell I'm not too deep into this whole thing. Yeah, okay. Nice. Yeah, well, if it does come to that, it's more than welcome. Thanks. I'm trying to improve. Actually, the whole purpose of the stream is not to display skill, but rather just boldly painting and not being afraid to screw up in front of people especially, and just make it work in any way, shape or form possible. Because I'm not a good painter, nor am I a good gamer, but I enjoy it and I just want to share the excitement of it. That's pretty much the type of value I can bring to the enormous streaming community. And I've also been getting some very nice comments and ideas about additional colors to use, or just during the paint job, someone says. So Have No Mouth just gave me an idea. No, he's it's just an adopted nickname. It's not. I did tell him that with this nick he has to start streaming, but yeah. Hey, he can tell you himself. But yeah, it's really been fun so far. Right, so let's take a little bit more of this base color. Have you read the short story? I have no mouth and I must scream. Or have you played the video game? 'Cause they are both pretty nice. Pretty interesting setting, and the story is pretty good overall. Who was the author? I keep forgetting. What was that? Oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense. YouTube follows Netflix by reducing video stream quality, yeah. Well, that totally makes sense, and it's very strange that for Twitch, they are still maintaining their server strength, their bandwidth allows for this increase. Sure thing, dude. I'll be here for quite some more time, I guess. Oh yeah, oh definitely. I'll be here for at least an hour and a half. As I remember the first few days there was quite a bit of disturbance in Twitch streaming. For people that have more concurrent viewers. Average daily concurrence. Yeah, definitely. And like I said, the cameras, these standard streaming cameras, have become an extremely sought after commodity. And Amazon has spiked their price tremendously. So I was kind of ahead of the curve on that one. So C920s and C922s are running at about $300 now, considering that they are about 5 to 6 year out technology at this point. By the way, if you still if you get to need your camera, just let me know. I can always come drop it off. Because your camera is still here, the C920. But yeah, they are now insanely expensive. Not really registering as much of a highlight. But it will help smooth things out a little bit, I think. And you wouldn't believe how many people all over the streams are just joining in and saying that this has reinvigorated their hobby, given them more time. And In the cases where this is not due to loss of employment, it's pretty cool, but unfortunately, especially in the US, a lot of businesses decided to take the precautionary measures to simply shut down and lay all of their workers off, which is pretty bad. So the fact that the hobby is booming is more of a silver lining to an issue rather than a good occurrence on its own, but what you gonna do about it? I like this. I like how this is coming along. There is a bit of a rough transition here that I would like to smooth out somehow. I have been working on my glazing a lot lately. I think I am getting a bit better at it. And also, funnily enough, I've started using synthetic brushes with a very, very satisfactory result. And I've had these for years and I never thought about using them because their handles are... Oh, the handle was somewhere up to here. So you can imagine how long of a handle. This was useless with this much extra handle, so I just decided to cut it off. Yikes. And make it into a normal mini brush. And so far I have been very, very happy with them. They have a very nice tip. They hold a lot of water, a lot of moisture, and are pretty nice to work with. Sadly, they are not available here in the usual arts and crafts stores. Alright, dude, thanks again. Thank you very, very much for dropping by, and good luck with the chores, with the tasks. Have a lovely rest of your evening, and I hope you come again soon. Thanks. Much appreciated. Thank you. Thanks again. I couldn't agree more. In the words of Nike, just do it. So let me know if you're in a search for good synthetic brushes, because I think that these will become my very favorite things. And I can give you the exact number. I still have to test them a bit more, tell you for sure, but so far I've been banging them up pretty hard, and the tip appears to be invincible. Which is really cool. Hey Setsi, how you doing? I was talking to... Nice. Good to hear. I was talking to Havdomouth about the skirmish rules that you mentioned last time. The what was it? This is not a test ones. I was watching Gorilla, so Ash's video on it, and it does seem pretty fun. I might end up getting them. I really like the random what was it? The perils that you roll for at the start of the game. GMT -6. How much is that? Because we did... Yeah, the unit activations I couldn't make too much sense of. That you technically can activate as many as you want, but you need to roll off for a chance to activate them, which is a bit weird, but definitely not bad. So yeah, I will watch the entire series, because I noticed that there are several episodes, not just the one that is embedded in the site. And once we get a better hang on the... Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, it's an interesting... I haven't seen such an approach for unit activations. So that might be something to look into. But again, I would prefer that we first of all get better footing on Necromunda, and then we can experiment with some other stuff. Regarding Necromunda, I found in Instagram there is a dude called Slave to the Whip, and that guy is doing some amazing stuff with Necromunda terrains. Yeah, exactly, I really love that. For a skirmish game, that is good. The only thing I don't like about it, from what I've read so far... Yeah, the kill team is also something that's on our plate here in our small local group. But I don't know if... I don't know which will come first. So we've gotten some Warcry stuff. We can build some kill teams from bits and pieces. For instance, Claw Bomber is, right as we speak, painting some of his Nurgles for Kill Team. And I think I can put together a Space Wolf force out of old minis. So this is, yeah, and of course Necromunda. Which is, I have no idea how we will be able to fit all of this in, considering that we are mostly united around Blood Bowl. And we're trying to expand in other game systems. For instance, I'm also working on this guy. He is part of my Norse team. I've just done the flesh last night. But I'm currently... Yeah, I'm taking full advantage of that, believe me. Like, there are currently pretty much two things I do all day, one being I work, and once I get off work, I directly just throw the work PC to the left, put on the stream, and start painting, whether I'm on screen or watching someone else's stream, like Brush for Hires, or later in the evening some other people's. But it's been pretty good from that point. I've got some inspiration for the other projects that I've got pending from years ago. The Orc team for Blood Bowl, some Dwarves for Blood Bowl. Pretty much a lot of Blood Bowl related stuff. And also the miniatures for the Gears of War board game. That are pretty fun. I might get around to clean them up and prep them. Have you seen them? They're pretty nice. And the game as well. I've mentioned this before, but it's one of those board games that you can play solo because it uses a deck of cards. It uses sort of an AI for the enemy, so it's generally a cooperative board game. So technically, if I get a powerful itch to play a board game, I can play by myself, which is more fun than sad. I need to underline this. I've tried it and it's pretty cool. It's not as desperate as it sounds, playing by yourself. It's interesting. It's out of print, however, so it might be a bit difficult to find. But it's good stuff. So don't call me a moron, I'm super astute. There is no conundrum that my core cannot compute. Oh yeah, for sure. For sure. At the very least, Solitaire itself. But it's just, you understand that there is a connotation that when you say that you're playing a cooperative game by yourself, it's kinda, it might come off a little bit weird. So I make it a point to notice. So, I need to push this red a little bit further up, although it's coming along pretty well. Push it up just a little bit more. And then I'll try and do some panel lining and highlighting. And then it's up to the chipping. I have no idea if I'll be able to pull off because I've never tried it before, but we'll see. I need to get used to this setup, constantly putting my head below the camera. By the way, if you're working on some stuff and you would like to share with the class, please do so. We can always use a little bit of inspiration here and there, so if you feel like sharing, don't hesitate. It's very hard to build up. Okay, this is probably, I don't know, the 7th or 8th coat. But since I don't want to wash it down and I want to keep it vibrant, I had to start off really dark. And bringing it up has been a bit of a chore. And I can only be happy that I'm going to paint 5 more of these. Awesome. Just a moment. You're still working on the ammo belts, or have you moved on to something else? Oh yeah, I did see that. Yeah, they look great. What's the basing that you're what's the grainy stuff that you're using? See to the lower left. Ah yeah, the grenade belt. I was amazed when I saw the first whip, so I think it was this one. When I saw this one, I was really amazed that this is actually scratch built. Railroad ballast, okay. Oh, nice. Because the scale is very good. I use, I have some small rocks, granular rocks, but they are much thicker and they look very weird when you put them on a base. So I was wondering what this is. Yeah, awesome, cool. Are you giving them a desert theme? Nice. Yeah, you can tell with this. You're coming along real nice. For Gorka Morka. Yeah, this is something that I've only seen some videos of. I wonder if GW will bring them back. Like they are currently trying to bring back all of the specialists games. I wonder if they'll do the same for Gorka Morka. Quite a few games have had, of these discontinued games, have had fan base support and community after their discontinuation, and I find that this is so cool. The fact that they don't let these games die just because people like them. Oh, you're referring to the IG unit. The strats. I think I actually saw them in Lexicanum. I might be wrong, but I think something rings a bell. Because a couple of days ago I was thinking about yeah, that's possible. That's possible. And then of course you had the great success with Blood Bowl 2016. Although pretty much no one really uses the new rule set, it still brought back a lot of people from the woodwork and brought some more up too. Some new players. The last year's World Cup for Blood Bowl brought along 1,400 people, which is pretty much, I think, the biggest gathering that ever happened. Oh yeah, I did make an account at Yak Tribes, and I am trying to find anything that I can use from there. I downloaded some fighter cards to print out. It's a very nice build, nicely built resource community forum and database. And it also has stuff for Mantic, one of Mantic's games. There are quite a few things supported there, which is really, really cool. I wonder how the new the Necromunda video game will turn out. Although I haven't seen any updates for it for quite a while. I think 2017 was the last time I ever... no, 18 maybe, was the last time I heard anything of it. You can tag it in YouTube, so it's something that exists apparently, but I can't find any resource for it yet. Because it probably overlapped with the new editions. Alright, let's bring this up. Some panel lining and stuff. Because the Mordheim game that they came up with, I'm a bit iffy on it. I did watch some videos of it, and there are things that I did enjoy, but others, it looks a bit wonky, I don't know. Just an overall feeling. I haven't tried it myself, so anything you can hear from me on the topic is from the perspective of an observer. But if I can pull this off. And if it will at all register. Very slightly so. It barely registers as a highlight. But it still kind of does, so I'll take it. I ain't hating. Yeah, a couple of nights ago I made it a point to look through the lexicanum for all the guard regiments. So I remember that there was a sort of more high-tech regiment than the rest, and I couldn't for the life of me remember what they were. And turns out that they were the Elysian ones. I don't know if they're from Forge World. Elysia, Elysia, I think was the planet. They are elite sort of paratrooper division, and they have some jetpacks and some more high-techy stuff. Oh, okay. I hadn't noticed that. It just came to me and I couldn't remember, and I was looking through it, and I saw that they have made IG for essentially every single existing country's military force. And when I got to the Bashkirtistans, I just ruffled. Oh, okay. Because there are a few ones that can count as French Foreign Legion, I think. There were a few desert forces. I don't remember. There were about 50 of those. I can't remember every one of them, but it was very interesting to read up on that. Yeah, it was fun. Definitely an interesting read. But as usual, the Lexicanum is just such a goddamn rabbit hole that once you get into it, you cannot escape. I ended up spending maybe 2 hours just going through any visual representation that I could find for these different regiments. Oh yeah. Absolutely. Especially the funnies. I love the... Exactly. I really love the funny twist on 1d4 chan. And as a whole, just looking through a more ridiculous eye for 40k. The Flash Gets mini episodes for Space Hulk was probably the funniest thing I've ever seen related to 40k. Yeah. And the Angry Marines chapter with the fully fleshed out lore and rules for them. I mean, it takes dedication to take a joke that far. And I think that there are people who actually actively play them. The Reasonable Marines, yeah, but they're a kind of a recent thing, I think, compared to the Angry Ones. Nice! I was waiting for that. Nice stuff! Wicked. Let me zoom in a little bit. Oh, this is gorgeous. You're still making use of the fluorescence? Were they Vallejo? Can't remember. You did tell me, but I forgot. Nice. Well, I think one option would be that is how he got the way he is, and the second would be that this probably works as a disinfectant for him. Maybe. Oh, you do? But yeah, very nice. It might be. Yeah, good one. Oh, that's good. Being a tiny bit too theatrical, and yep, things happen. Oh, that's nice. Right, so onward, the highlighting. It's thick. It'll do. Yeah, again, these brushes are just so good. I'm gonna make it a point when the embargo's lift for me to get some more. Because naturally I think I don't have enough brushes. We're in Bulgaria. I'm not sure if that tells you anything. So we are just north of Greece and south of Romania. I try to clean it up a little bit. Right now, it's pretty much perfect spring. But as I said in the morning a few days ago, we had several seasons change under our noses. Like maybe a week ago, we had late autumn, late spring, and January winter all in one day. And I don't react too well to these changes. I can't sleep particularly well, and so I have begun to intake a hell of a lot more caffeine than usual. No, it's fairly flat. Because the country does have a coast to the Black Sea. So we are not too high up, and the city itself, we're in the capital, it's surrounded by mountains, but it isn't mountainous in itself. So it's usually a tame climate. But it's been running a bit wild recently. Yeah, I think I've heard things like that. No, it's unusual. It doesn't happen very often. Yeah, the way the surrounding mountains affect the weather is that whatever kind of weather makes its way to the city, it's very hard to get rid of it. It has a lot more staying power because it takes a lot stronger winds to blow it out of the niche, so to speak. It's kind of like Helm's Deep or something. I can't remember how the exact term in English. Let me check how it was. A valley, yeah, that's right. The city's in a valley, and so it makes it pretty hard to to clear any weather that makes its way down. Yeah. But it'll clear up. Already starting to get pretty warm. Today was a pretty sunny day. From what I saw out of the window, of course. I think I just ran out for a pack of cigarettes today, and that was about it. How's your weather? Oh, nice. It's regardless if you're able to go outside or not, this sort of rebirth for the seasons, it's very good, unless you have allergies. If you have allergies, it's a completely different story to tell. Nice. Still getting my head under the camera. Yeah, I suppose that this is a very discriminative time for people with allergies. Yeah, I hear that. Oh, that's nice. Yeah. Me, I usually do all of my exercises at home anyway. So that hasn't been much of a effect. Yeah, that's a good rhythm to keep up. Workout and paint. Although with the insomnia I've been having recently, I haven't really had the energy to keep physically active. And I'm starting to feel a little bit pudgy. So actions need to be taken soon. Okay, well, this is decent. Okay. Now for the scary part. I'm going to attempt for the first time in my life to draw chip damage on armor. This is going to be fun, or at the very least interesting. I will need a smaller brush for this. Exercise in bravery. And evident black for now. I'm starting to miss the classes a little bit. Now that it's April, we should have taken some kids to karate camp. Should have let it. So I was planning some time off from work, but never really got around to it. And the whole camp idea fell through. And the kids were very excited, and the whole group, and we'll see. Maybe for the summer. Might as well soak the brush during this intermittent break. It should work. I gotta get myself some black ink for painting. As I mentioned previously, yeah. Well, I do, I'm not referring to, so I don't have kids of my own, but I'm referring to the class that I'm teaching. So it was very, how should I say, it was something seeing all of their excitement about going there, and now that it fell through, it's a bit shit, but what you gonna do about it? Yeah, although I have been seeing some videos, some fitness instructors and whatnot have been trying to teach classes remotely. Although I doubt most people would have the space in their living room to accommodate jumping and rolling around on the floor. Yeah, also Aikido is very nice. We used to have a dojo in a main dojo room. I mean a main Aikido dojo. And they were a very big club. And very nice. Very chill people. I really like them. And I still keep in touch every now and again. Yeah, moving around and just staying active as a whole has been more or less of a challenge. Very easy to fall into a lethargic state. Considering that for me, both my gaming station, painting station, and working station are what you see in front of you right here. So I end up pretty much on this very chair throughout the entire day, with short breaks to stretch out my legs. Why did the music go into a state of boringness? Something interesting. Yeah, something. I'm still trying to upload these streams to YouTube, which is why I'm keeping it. I'm keeping this app for royalty-free stuff. No, I don't think so. It's, in my humble observations, pretty much something that artists tend to do in their spare time. Because they take mandatory classes in paper mache and they sort of get into papercraft from there, but definitely not too strong. I think that the oldest hobby of this sort would be scale modeling. We've always had access to the Russian Zvezda kits for military scale models, and this is pretty much what has been predominant up until, let's say, a decade ago. Oh yeah, definitely. But that's pretty much all that was available, and slowly we start getting Italeri, Revel, and wargaming miniatures such as Warhammer and War Machine and stuff started cropping up about, I don't know, 7, 8-ish years ago. So it's pretty, no, maybe 10, let's say 10. But more mainstream, about 7, 5-ish. Yeah, which is weird considering that the Zvezdas are actually very cheap kits. Even the bigger ones are fairly inexpensive, so it must be just a matter of shipping and maybe some transit costs. I myself have never really been into this part of the hobby, and because my parents scared me as a kid that the paints, because naturally they were still using the enamel kits, the enamel paints, and the IFNO thinners were very toxic. But I've always been keeping an eye out. And when I got somewhat financially independent, I started investing in this hobby. And it's been probably one of the best decisions I've ever made. So I always wanted to at least draw as a kid, but that got nowhere really fast. So apparently there is a part of me that wants to have some sort of artistic expression, and even though it's just painting models, it's been soul food ever since I started, and I've been loving it ever since. So the fact that I now have the opportunity to do so more often has been a godsend. Yeah, this is gonna be difficult. Maybe medium will help me in this endeavor. Give me a bit more working time. See, this is where an ink would come in real handy. Also, I decided to try my hands at comic style painting for one of the Blood Bowl teams. And this is also going to be one hell of a thing to do. I'm going to highlight these things. I have no idea. They don't look like chips though. That will also involve non-metallic metal. I've never tried that either, so.
Look
So what was it on the mouth? You said don't overdo it, is that right?
Let's see if I'll be able to contain myself. Patterning has always been a pain for me whenever I try to paint such things. Whether it's just the scratches on the boots or the attempted wood here. So what I'm doing right now is just something that really does not come out. Right? Still doesn't mean we shouldn't try. So here I want to make a bullet hole. It needs to go something like this. Okay. I don't know, maybe once I highlight it, it'll look like something. Sure looks like shit now. I'm not gonna do anything on the inside because I've already placed them on the base and I just won't be able to squidge into there or anything.
opportunity to refill some of the holes that aren't correct. Cover them on black so that even if I forget to put metallic in there, they would still register as a detail. I went a bit too frivolous with the highlighting. Whew, okay, well, I think that's enough of that.
My two favorite friends. I got my point
For now.
four and bullets galore and caps aplenty to spin. I got the courier blues.
Again, the patterns are horrible, the placement isn't right,
I'm gonna take a trip to
but maybe the next one will be better.
hunting down on the strip. I got a bet to make on a real big steak and throwing down my platinum chip. So if I cross your trail, better turn your tail, boy. You ain't gonna give me the slip. I broke every casino, free side to Brentorino. Won't stop until I get my prize. I'm gonna chase you down in Vegas at the end of
The next in line would be
my pit boys lagging and the screens are dragging and it takes forever to load. I fought 1,000 thugs and a
And
million bugs. Boy, you're just another glitch
white
in my
maybe?
code. I broke
Do we
every
want
casino,
orange or
free
pink
side
highlights?
Brentorino. Won't stop until I
Let's
get
try this
my
pink.
prize.
Because they should be small enough to not register too hard as pink. How we doing?
Ooh, I'm gonna take a trip to Vegas with my
Well, I
two
guess we'll be
favorite
pushing for
friends.
a little bit longer because I really want to try this.
Bullets galore and caps aplenty to spend.
Shouldn't take too
I got
long.
the courier blues and a real short fuse. It's a hell of
As
a
long as I
message
get the
I
pink
send.
consistency I want, it should be fine.
God damn it, not again.
Getting the flow is a nightmare, but I hope the matte medium will help me along in that.
Marched on
Generous
armed with plastic
attempt.
swords and matchsticks. It's easier than the first nine basis. I wish it could stay this safe until the summer comes and washes it away. Then everything now has got consequences. I know you're waiting for.
I'll try to take pictures of him later.
There's no snow around here. I know the lights
However, this so far has been a somewhat successful experiment in starting off from a flat color, very dark, and building up without employing the washes. Particularly for the red, this has worked out really good, if I do say so myself.
everything now has got
And it looks decent from a distance as well.
There's no snow around here, and I know the lights are
Are you ready? Oh, almost. I'm doing them very slowly. I hope that this being the test piece will be significantly slower than the rest. Because if it takes this long for each and every one of them, I don't know. I've never been able to paint fast, but this is just another level of slow. Snail's face. And this has been working out. Oh yeah, don't get me wrong, we all have that pile of shame in these side projects that we're super excited for but never get to them and so on. But I do think that I should be able to get a bit more work done for the time that I'm putting into. Yeah, I suppose that's true. And yeah, probably because I'm constantly trying different stuff and I'm really uncertain of what turns out. Oh yeah. No, I've seen these models. But yeah, I'm currently trying to veto myself from not buying new stuff, but we'll see. Focus on what I have just to clean some things out, because the more you have, the more your excitement focus gets diffused across multiple things. Because right now, as I'm doing the Necromunda dudes, I'm actually thinking about 2 other projects, and kind of detracts a little bit. Because you're always thinking 2 steps ahead of what you want, of what you're currently doing, and I'm trying to stay in the now and knock out some models. Okay. Let's try and make this happen. Do you do papercraft? Oh, don't tell me that was the Jeep. The Jeep was actually papercraft. I seem to remember there was mention of that. Holy shit. Okay, so if anyone is still watching from the gang, so Claw Palmer and Have No Mouth, let me show you this. So guys, this is papercraft. This here, papercraft. Right this here. How much time did it take you to put this together? It is amazing. I never... yeah. Shit. And it's just papercraft, right? It's not paper mache with supports, so it doesn't have armature on the inside? Or does it? have armature. That's amazing. I never thought you could make spherical things in papercraft. Okay, so there is at least a little bit of support, but still. Stunning stuff. Yeah, for the small detail. Yeah, okay. But again, this is an achievement. Damn. Oh, okay. I'll take a look at it, but I don't think. Alright, thanks. This is way too daunting for me to even attempt. I have to try out putting the Gundam together first. And if that works out, I might delve into this brand new haul. Bye, Clawpower. Thanks for dropping by and have a lovely rest of your evening. Okay. Thanks. Awesome. Yeah, I'll save this real quick and I'll give it a thorough read afterwards. Have you been doing this for long? Nice. The closest thing that I ever got to one of these was some of my father's very old magazines. He had some hobby magazines from Croatia from his childhood, and there were some papercraft airplanes printed in there, pre-colored, and the sheets of paper were pre-colored and all that. And that was the closest thing I ever got, and they were pretty dingy designs for some very early fighter jets. But this is on a completely different level. It's completely differently engineered with the supports. This is sick. So nice. It's great. It's great, and I am very tempted to try myself at it. I've never been too exact with cutting and measuring, and this requires extreme precision. So maybe I'll give it a little more time. Oh, okay, that makes sense, yeah. Yeah. But yeah, the way that they are engineered is very important in order to make it work. And the fact that you say that they are of Japanese make, considering that they have very long and good experience with creating. Yeah, but it is the key, so it is the foundation, right? To get things to come together correctly. Because if you leave too much out of it, then it will fold over itself and create creases and pretty much throw all of your shapes out of whack. So tedious or not, this is actually what the foundation of what will be the overall look of the thing. And getting it right is what actually makes it look like a model and not like creased and stuck together paper. Glued paper. Yeah. This really is awesome. I haven't really thought about that in ages. Like I said, last time I even saw things like that was that I was still living with my parents, and it was preschool, so I was about like what 7 years old when I was last exposed to this. And now that I see this, it's very weird. It's kind of exciting and inspiring, and at the same time, it's very daunting. I don't know. Pretty cool though. I will definitely check in to your diaries, so to speak, on the matter. Now let's try and highlight some tiny black stuff. So this registers that. Indeed. And considering that I treat streaming like a hobby in and of itself, like preparing all of the tech and playing around with the whatchamacallits. With the settings of the cameras, things just keep piling on, and I haven't even started doing things like basing and dioramas, or which will become pretty commonplace once we get into Necromunda. But it's good. And from that point, I consider myself rather blessed, as opposed to the people that currently have no idea what to do with their spare time. Because if you have too much, you can always just pick one and give some time to it, whereas being completely helpless against your own inability to entertain yourself is a much bigger curse, I think. And here this is very predominant. Like, there are a lot of people that don't have hobbies, and I can only imagine how much of a impact this is for them. It's subtle, but I think it registers. Maybe. Maybe I should just go brighter. Should I have gone with just straight white? I'm not sure. Can't imagine the people who do this for an entire regiment of Space Marines. Chipping and scratching the entire surface of the armor. Although the aesthetic effect is pretty noticeable, I gotta admit. Oh yeah. I saw some tutorials for camo patterns and how they cover one on top of each other, and yeah, that's woof. For vehicles you can get away with it if you have a solid airbrush and some stencils, but for infantry it's a nightmare, I suppose. Nice. Looks like something. What that something is a question. Usually there. Or if you're not really seeing any of this. The shitty lighting and I have to get braced. But it's kind of working. Again, my placements are horrible, but technically it does what I needed it to. medium hopefully help the flow. Now I read somewhere that the Vallejo glazing medium does have some retarder in it. I don't know if the same applies for the Longian medium, but we'll see. Right now what I'm struggling with the most is making the paint flow out of the brush. And this is one of these things where I can't just get a bigger brush. And then we'll receive a bunch of metallic, silver metallic later on. Go in and re-highlight some of the scratches. Hopefully not ruining everything.
Into the great unknown, the stars light up the stones. We're carried ever on.
This is probably one of those cases where having something for reference would have been better, rather than just going into it blind. Should start working with more reference materials. Oh no, leaning into the palette is a very stupid habit I picked up when I started. It really isn't necessary. I just started burying my head in the palette for no apparent reason. to see the colors from up close. Now this is annoying because it gets in the camera. This kind of got a bit too thick. Keep it wet. Yeah, that'll do it. Well, that's been an interesting experiment.
Throughout the crooked kingdoms, I watch the weather change. The clouds collide on either side as nations rearrange. A silver mane adorns me, my steel is fluid and fast. They shun my ways, avoid my gaze, a fugitive outcast. There is no pain I can feel. True retribution I deal through silver and steel.
Bit better.
Silver and steel.
I don't know how you get the precision to make these as small as they appear on miniatures. Yeah, I think that the black should be predominant and the highlight should be the smaller thing. Yeah, I think.
Better make way when the winter comes. Better make way when the winter comes.
Well, it's not horrible for a first attempt.
I have no will to share their thrill for tiresome politics. I hunt my wayward memories for pieces of the past. As fragments fade, I clutch my blade and visit visions vast. There is no pain
Alright, so, is anyone still out there? No, it's just my... oh well. That's alright. Let's just make the jump. So thanks again guys for joining me. I will be throwing us off to Search for Hire. And keep loving what you do, doing what you love, and I'll see you next time. Bye guys!
Blacksmith School.